Good was good. Family man, family van. Man, listen to me. I know sometimes I'll put out a mix. Sometimes I'll do reaction. Like I'm gonna do today. I'm doing a reaction video today. And sometimes I just flat out, just speak my mind. Y'all been rocking with me. I know y'all feeling that last mix, that WBMS mix. And what made me do that mix is, the last mix that I had done several months ago. I keep seeing it on my feed inside my YouTube studio, and I looked up, and it's at like 5,000 views. I'm like, wow. Last time I checked, it only had like about 600 views, and now it's at about 5,000 people liking it. So, I'm getting feedback. Because usually, like as a YouTuber, when you do a video, you kind of do a video and you move forward. Because things trending. So you don't stay going back and looking at your old videos, seeing views. You don't do that. You keep moving forward, man. If something do good, it'll come before you. So I'm saying this one video, steady doing good. I'm like, damn, okay. And so I'm saying the reaction, they like, man, the mix that I did, I didn't like. Right? So hold on. Let me show y'all. So right here, I got the W right here. Where you at? Come here, boy. You see right here, let me not, what is that right here? WBM match right here, 48,000, 9 months ago, 165 likes. This video right here, last time I seen that video, there's only like maybe 4, 5, and that's what I'm saying, the likes make, I did this 9 months ago. So it's like, I'm not even thinking about this video, and now I'm starting to see people like, man, give me the playlist, I like that. So I'm looking like, huh, okay, now. So I end up doing, that's what made me end up doing this one here, right here, the part 2. And as you see, 2 days ago, it's almost at 1,000 views. So, I'm thinking that's, going to do pretty nice. Now, the first one that I did, I didn't like. The blending was off. It was terrible. I'm a DJ. So if you're a DJ, you know it's something off, okay? As a DJ, you know it's something off. That I didn't like. But if you're not a DJ, you listen like, oh, okay, this. You listen to the songs like, oh man, that's my jam. But me, I'm listening to the transition, how the song came in. I didn't like that. I only like that mix. I like the songs, but 30% as far as transition. Now the mix I just put out, the last one that got 650 views, and that's only 2 days ago, so that's pretty good because more people listen, the views will go up. Every day I'm getting 200-300 views on it. So I think that'll surpass the other one because that one I actually like. The transition was good. A couple of, nothing perfect, but overall I like it. 90% I like it. So I'm just speaking in general. When you hit the like button, you'll be notified because that video start popping up on my we got something what you call YouTube Studio. And with YouTube Studio, it lets you know where you at with things. So, and it show you, the YouTube Studio, it'll show you where you at. You know what I'm saying? Latest part, and it starts showing you every week. You'll get a weekly report saying, hey, this how many people tuned in, 6,000. You got 400 shares, 2,000 likes. And the video that they liked the most was this. So I'm saying this video pop. I'm like, damn, really? After a month of saying that, I double back like, damn, they fucking with it. So that's kind of where I said, you know what, let me do another one. Because again, up to that point, I wasn't, I don't really upload music like that. I do it because I got people that like music, but to get monetized and get paid, it works different. With this, you get the less money because a lot of people listen to music. So it ain't like they really watching your feed. They throw a mid song, play in the background. They doing their thing while they got your music playing in the background. So YouTube don't really pay on that. Like they pay, but they don't pay good. Then, certain music you can't use. So in other words, let me show you something. You see right here, you see where that orange right here, that caution sign is right here, next to the 28. that means you're not gonna get paid. Look under there. You don't see that. I can get paid on that. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. And now, although this one here got 4 lights, it's at 659 views. Under here, this got 28 lights and it's only 640. You see what I'm saying? So, the people listening to that, they actually listening to it. The 28 lights, what considered a view on YouTube is maybe 30 seconds. So that's why you go to your studio, you see how long that people actually engage in your inside your content. So let me show you something. You see for this one here, where it say WB on Max, when you go to the bottom, average time 9 minutes. So that means more than likely they listen to the whole thing. Now you go here, the average minutes here is 2 minutes. So that just lets you know, like, that's how you keep up with your content. Like, okay, they tune in, you get 1,000 views, but they only watch it for 2 minutes, and then you can get something for 200 views, and they watch the whole thing. You see what I'm saying? So YouTube pay more for the one where they watch the whole thing. Now, let me wrap it up. I have several pages, right? This page here, I can do my podcast, my music, my freestyle page, which I'm monetized. I have a page. Now, this is not for everybody, right? Some people, they don't want to hear the word of God, so I don't really preach it on this page, right? But I have a page, right? Ghetto Gospel, right here. You see? And I'm trying, this page here is where I do all my content concerning biblical. I'm very smart with it. Very smart. And that's why I do all my little things, as far as my Bible stuff, and trying to, I really want a lot of people to tune in to that, because a lot of things that I say on there, remember I do a lot of my scholar, I do a lot of reading, a lot of studying, and that's the page I really need to be on. What I'm saying now is fine. You want to hear about what's going on in the, hey, Ray J sick, or, Javante went to jail. Everybody want to hear that. You don't want to hear the word of God. It's a judgment for that, because at the end of the day, which I'm not going to start preaching, but at the end of the day, you'll be accountable for everything. I go into scriptures. I don't just give you no verse like, hey, let's go to Corinthians 1:9. You forgot. I don't do all that. I get deep. I get real deep. I tell you, hey, the sun and the moon are angels. In the book of Adam and Eve, it tells you that they was at Adam's funeral and they was Negroes. So that's indicating that the sun and the moon are angels, which is black. I go into deep scriptures like that. You're like, whoa, like, yes. Hey, they try to bury Abel after Cain killed him and the earth spit him up. It tells you that, in certain books. And until Adam, once Adam was buried, after that, everybody was able to be buried because the earth would spit anything up that was buried before Adam died and now in the 30s. So they had to place Abel's body on a rock. I'm going to scriptures real deep. That's the type of scriptures I give you, but without further ado, I do want y'all to follow that page because I get real deep in that, very, very deep in that. And, you'll learn a lot. But follow that page. Got 43 videos up. Follow that page. You'll learn a lot. It's not the regular Sunday church, but again, that's a separate platform. So, look forward to seeing y'all over there. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a reaction video concerning this guy, Marquette. He's a good guy, Muslim, but his name is Marquette Davon. Very intelligent guy. He was the guy that was trying to buy Umar Johnson's school. Kind of find out Umar didn't own it. So Umar just been running game on people. But I want to kind of get into that reaction video and go there. And he's dealing with a female. It's like more of a teaching moment. He's dealing with a female and her with a wig. A lot of females, I just let him tell it, and I just kind of I come in and out, for copyright purposes. I have to stop and talk because it's like I'm still on content. But it's a reaction video. So let's go from there. Hey there, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm swell. I imagine you are here to speak in favor of wigs.
Sure.
Uh-oh.
Um, so I just recently started following you. Um, so I haven't seen a lot. Um, just got on my phone and saw that post, and yeah, I decided to join the live. I don't have too much to really defend, honestly, but when, when I first saw it, I was just like, I feel like straight hair
Mhm.
and just extensions is like a women thing in general.
Straight hair is a woman thing.
Yeah, because like I feel like all like cultures of women just like straighten their hair.
Why do you think it's straight instead of like kinky, like black people's hair?
I think it's just a style, like how like if you were to curl your hair, like straightening your hair. I feel like a lot of people don't have bone straight hair, like in general, so a lot of people have to straighten their hair.
Uh-huh. So you don't think this has anything to do with like race?
Um, I mean, I can't deny that at
Okay.
all, but I feel like at this point in time, it's more so just a style.
All right, let's work. So number one, why do you think that I'm against wigs? What's your guess on why I have a problem with wigs? Because obviously you can see like I'd be well suited for a wig. So why does the bald guy who maybe needs a wig, why does he have a problem with wigs?
Probably because it's fake, number
It's fake.
one. Um,
Okay.
and it's part of, I guess, when you get the real deal version of who you decided to be with, that's a whole different, I don't know, person. And then, yeah, just the fakeness of it all.
Mm. Are you bisexual or heterosexual?
Hetero.
Or
I'm, I'm heterosexual.
never kissed a woman?
I'm heterosexual.
Okay, but have you ever kissed a woman, a female?
I'm heterosexual.
Understood. That means yes, which is it is what it is. So we'll take you from your word right now, which well, women, y'all don't understand. It's simple yes or no. You ask me, hey, Cole, have you ever kissed a man? No. Not thinking about it. Simple math. She, I'm heterosexual. That ain't the question. You can be heterosexual. Now, have you ever kissed a woman? What's the question? So by her beating around the bush, then that's what we're saying. Your body language indicates that you have kissed a woman. He asked us, it's a direct question. Have you kissed a woman or not? Yes or no. If you haven't, you're to say, no, I know, I like men. She say, I'm heterosexual. Nah, that's getting around the question. You have kissed a woman. Which is I'm heterosexual. So presumably you want a man, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And do you want the man to want you for who you are?
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm not stating, I'm
Yeah.
asking you. Okay. And that's a very basic human feeling. We all want to be wanted and, in fact, loved for who we really are. It matters a lot to us because if someone doesn't love us for who we are, when we show who we are, we will become unloved. And similarly, if we're putting on a persona, then the person realizes that's not who we are. Maybe they'll go find someone who does have that characteristic or that trait that they fell in love with that was not really us. Does that make
Mhm.
sense? Okay. So there are two men you could end up with. One man, he sees you and he sees your light colored hair, and maybe he likes light colored hair. He sees your straight hair, and maybe he likes straight hair. And so he's come to be attracted to you for your straight, light colored hair. And then maybe he sees another woman. You guys are out at the mall. You're walking by. A woman's at a kiosk selling hand cream. And she says, "Hey, try my hand cream." You guys happen to notice her and stop. And she also has light colored hair. And she also has straight hair, except that her light colored hair is lighter than yours and it grows out of her scalp that way. And her straight hair is, in fact, straighter than yours. Do you think that your man might be perhaps a bit mesmerized by seeing the real deal?
I mean, not really.
So you're under the idea that if I gave you a pair of imitation Jordans, those shoes would be just as desirable as a pair of real Jordans. So the knockoffs are just as good.
I mean, that's not really an equal like comparison.
And see this when this is where you get a lot of um, delusional women. It's not a equal comparison. It's definitely equal comparison. Do you want the real Jordans or the fake Jordans? It's simple math. The real Jordans cost you $300. The fake one costs you $60. You understand what I'm saying? It's clearly um, distinctive difference in them. You know, and it's just real and fake. It don't really matter. Like, hey, I got the fake ones, I got the real. To me, it don't matter because I'm not paying for nobody's name. But I'm just, but what he's making a point that she's getting beaten around the bush. This guy very, and I don't do a lot of reaction videos, but you know when I like to say a black intelligent man. He's been this dude been shutting down a lot. He been debating and he been dealing with a lot of people, and it's like when you run across a guy like this, and you can look at him like the man got money. He's very intelligent. He know how to talk and deal with a woman, and I'm not gonna say humiliate them, but he know how to pick their brain to where it's like, hey, you got me. That's why I don't mind learning from and to me, when you deal with a man, a certain type of black, what I'm saying, intelligent man, what I mean, he will be one that will come to mind the way he deal with people. Seen multiple interviews, I might not agree with his religion, but again, you know, worldly wise, he got it.
It's like
You don't.
it's a style. Like it's a style.
Yes, and what I'm saying is that one style is more authentic than the other.
I mean, me straightening my hair is not more authentic than somebody else straightening their hair.
Well, there are people who don't have to straighten it, it grows straight.
It grow a lot of people their hair does grow straight, but
Yeah.
a lot of people as well theirs grows like wavy, so they have to straighten their hair.
Yes,
Like
yes.
even though it's like naturally
Yeah, so,
straight to earth,
right.
they still have to straighten
So if
it.
we
Like
stay on the
rather they have,
topic
like
of,
I don't think it's rare for people's hair to be like bone straight.
I understand what you're saying, but if we
Mm.
stay on the topic of comparing what you're trying to simulate, which is light colored hair that is straight, with a woman who naturally has light colored hair that is straight, which exists, you would agree that does exist, right?
Hmm.
Okay. So if we compare you faking that to a woman who authentically is that, do you think that a man who's attracted to that aesthetic that he found in you emulating it, if he found a woman who actually really is that, do you think he would not prefer her?
Um, I mean, I would say initially, like if there was like a lineup of like it was like okay, say we're on Pop the Balloon or something like that. I don't know. Um, if he was to see side by side for the first time, yeah. But like if we're in a relationship, no.
Oh, oh. Do you know what initially attracts the man?
The physical, right?
The appearance. That's correct. So if he's actually attracted to your straight hair and your light colored hair, if he's actually attracted to that, and it's possible, I wouldn't be, then if that's actually what's attractive to him and he sees that in a new woman, then surely it'll still be appealing. That doesn't change because you're in a relationship. But more importantly, when you're attracted to the straight hair and the light colored hair, it comes along with other things because this is a phenotype. By phenotype, meaning that your DNA is expressing a racial feature in this case that goes along with another set of racial features. You don't find women who have light colored hair and dark skin generally, right? You find that certain racial features come as a package, which is to say, tightly coiled hair will come with dark skin. You understand what I'm getting at here? So if you perform the appearance in part of a white woman, the guy who's attracted to that is more than likely attracted truly to white women. And also, you'd have to be a bit scared of being with a guy like that because he's not attracted to that which is real, because he's coming after you and you're doing something that's fake. And my true hope for you all, ladies, is I don't go against wigs because I hate you. I go against it because it's a bad behavior that one shows that you have no respect for that which you really are. You don't love yourself. And I do love you. Number two, it's an embarrassment to the entire race of black people. It shows that you don't think that what you really are is good enough. Number three, you could never actually have any level of self-respect from a racial level. And I often like to show when white women speak up on your wigs and on your hair and on your imitations of them. There was a video recently, I asked a black woman, I said, have you ever been natural? And she played dumb and act like she didn't know what I was talking about. And she says, oh, I am natural, while wearing a wig, mind you. The white woman who is sitting to my right starts laughing. She says, no, honey, you're wearing a wig. He's talking about the wig. Then there's a whole flood of comments, all black women saying, oh, not him embarrassing the black woman in front of a white girl. Why does it matter that it's a white girl? It only matters because that's who you're trying to pretend to be. And she basically said, you're the fake version of me. I look down on you. I laugh at you. You're a joke to me. That's why they were mad and embarrassed, because it was the white woman showing that she looks down on you because you're a fake version of me. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I agree. What I spoke about, and you know what's crazy? You can go on any one of these social media sites. Go on Instagram, you go on TikTok, you go on Facebook, you go on Big O Live, you go on Tag. All these little sites. And when you look at a woman, um, you can go on a Facebook dating app. They got a dating app. And people put that profile up and you go through their pictures and you see the girl like, and all y'all females, because most of my audience is men. So, I'm talking to the men as we having a man dialogue conversation. You got to keep in mind, right, that when you do have a female, right, and I'm gonna wrap it up real quick. Back in the 90s, I want to say 90, I want to say maybe 95, I met this girl named Charlotte Simmons, right? Now, back in 95, the woman was actually used to going and whatever hair they had, they get a straightened comb, they ear be burnt. you know what I'm saying? Maybe some curls, whatever, you know what I mean? They had the Holly Berry hairstyle, whatever hair they had, they made do with it. You understand what I'm saying? It's very, very, like maybe the older women might put on a wig, from Lee nails or whatever, but the average young female teenager, you know, out of high school, 20s or whatever hair they had, they made do with it. You understand what I'm saying? That's where a lot of beauty salons and people at their house, they used to make a killing off doing hair. 3-4 heads a day, house smelling like, burnt straight and comb irons, curlers and all that. You used to see the girl, they used to always have a burnt ear because them curler irons burn your ear when they be doing it. So, that was natural. When you lay under a woman, you'll smell that burnt hair. That's what that's what it was in the 90s. Now, you come about, I went to a party. One of my man, David Hoy, rest in peace, folk on the hustler, my man. He had a party, and I went to the party, and this when we used to do a lot of house parties back in the 90s, a lot of house parties. So I go there, and this female, I seen her, and for the first time, she had blonde hair. I never saw a woman with blonde hair. Up to this point, this is the first time me ever seeing a woman with blonde hair. She had a blonde hair. It wasn't a weave. It wasn't a weave, but it was, she was like brown skin, but she had like blonde hair. And when I say that turned me 1,000% on, I'm like, wow, she's beautiful. And I went over there, I talked to her, we changed phone numbers. I ended up getting up with her. It's a whole story behind that, which I get into later, way later. I'm gonna put that on my Chicago Tales. That's deep. Got something to do with her. Her father, police. He was touching her. A lot of stuff went wrong. He up the bang on me. Slapped me with a pistol. A lot of stuff, that went on with that. So I'm gonna put that into the Chicago Tales. You understand? But initially, what I'm telling you is what he's saying is yes, I seen her, and growing up in sixth grade, I was not fourth and fifth and sixth grade. I went to a Puerto Rican school called Cameron, and it was mixed. It was say about 80%, maybe 70% Mexican, Puerto Ricans, and comes in the Humboldt Park area, which is in Chicago is dominant, 90% Hispanic. And so the school that I went to was like, that was their region. So there's only so many black. And I used to see the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans. And I was like, when I get older, I'm going to maybe meet like a white woman, a Puerto Rican. Like, I was kind of attracted to that. So what he's saying is true. And I'm just telling you from my personal experience. Remember, I'm 50. So I'm giving you stories back, from back then. And this was the 80s when I went to this actual school. That was the 80, around the time Bad come out. Cause I'm bad, you know it. This is when the Bad dropped. So, whatever year that was, that's when it was, right? And so that attracted me at a young age. So now that I'm older, I'm a teenager, 16, 17, and I see this woman, black girl, with the blonde looking hair, turn me on. So he got an angle here. I ain't on board, y'all, but, rock out with me.
That to me is really it just hurts me. Like I'm not a woman with a fake wig, you hear me? But as a black human being, it hurts me to see a black person who is in fact a white supremacist.
Hmm.
You must think that they're supreme. You must think that they're superior if you act like them. Just like when little boys try to act like Mike, whether it's Mike Jackson, Michael Jordan, they emulate that which is superior, that which they would ascend to become. And so the black woman, having been through much and is victim of media, what she sees on social media, on television and films, and she tries to ascend to that standard of beauty.
So, so in your opinion, even though I wear my hair, the fact that I color it and straighten it is me trying to emulate uh, Caucasian.
Is it not?
No, not in my opinion. I feel like straightening is the style,
Yeah.
in my opinion, because a lot of people have curly hair or wavy hair that
Yeah.
they have to straighten.
Yes.
I straightened it. I I straighten it and then I'll curl it and I'll color it because I like ginger colored hair.
Ginger.
Hmm.
Are there any blacks that have naturally ginger colored hair?
Yeah, I
Oh,
follow a lot.
what tribe? What tribe are they from?
I don't know what tribe they're
Okay.
from. I follow them every time when I see them.
Oh, are those blacks or are those people who are mixed with white?
I'm
Those are people who are mixed with white.
not
Thank you.
sure.
See, the thing that
Not sure.
saddens me, love, is the delusion and the mental illness and the hoops that you have to jump through to maintain your sickness. And because I love you so much is just like your parents when you're a toddler. You do things because you don't know any better, and because you're too young to reason, your parents have to spank you or they have to redirect you or take control. They can't sit down with a 2-year old and say, let me explain the logic of what's going on here, because logic is no more to you because your emotions are so deeply engaged, and it's engaged at a level that's causing a blindness for you. It really saddens me when you would suggest that straightening your hair, A, which is a Caucasian thing, is a Caucasian racial feature, and then B, the idea that then coloring your hair a lighter color, which is a Caucasian feature, particularly of the Caucasoid. The Asians have jet black hair. The Latinos are not a race. They are a hybrid of racial mixture. There really are three primary racial categories: Negroid, Caucasoid, Mongoloid. They have distinct racial features. Everything else is kind of in between, so to speak. So where you find the different colorations in hair, namely the lighter colorations, you would have to go to the northern part of Europe. Yes, Northern Europe or the northern part of the British Isles or United Kingdom, if you like. This is where you find the red hair. This is where you find the blonde hair. Now, on the rainbow, it has a number of colors. Uh, who knows how many, but some of them are like purple, blue, red, green, orange. You've heard of all these. But somehow, when black women dye their hair or bleach their hair, they seem to only find it in their heart to go with the colors that are the racial features of the Caucasoid group, which is the red hair or the light brown hair or the blonde hair. Somehow they seem to not find green to be very appealing or purple to be very appealing or gray to be very appealing. They seem to go consistently with the colors that reflect the racial category of those persons who conquered your ancestors. And I get it. And that's precisely why I always say it's Taliban time, because you guys are so disconnected from reality. Furthermore, you should ask yourself, if you really loved yourself, you'd think this. You'd say, okay, Marquette, well, they're straight, and then there's tightly coiled hair, which we might call kinky hair, or we might call it the hair of the Negroid category. So if we would call it a style to make the hair straight, appearing more Caucasian, why is there no style where we find that the Caucasians are imitating us at the same rate? You could scarcely go out and find 100 women who are black in America without finding 90% of them imitating the white woman's appearance. If you were to select 100 white women, what percentage would imitate the black woman's appearance? Having tightly coiled hair, having blown it out to an afro, or having gotten dreadlocks? I'd say it's a minuscule percentage, maybe 2% or lower. Why? Because their psyche has not been molested by popular media and the rewriting of history such that they truly feel inferior. So if you're talking about styles, the question is, why does the style take on the racial appearance of the dominant group? And if it's merely a style, why do the styles rarely impact the dominant group, the Caucasoids, such that they would imitate your group if it's just about style and changing styles?
And again, he left her kind of speechless. And again, you have all these black women who wear these wigs, and again, they blonde, red, yellow, and again, that's a white woman's features, a Caucasian Hispanic feature. You don't have that with the white women, like you said, wearing dreadlocks, afros, or coil hair, which means that the black woman wants to be a white woman, and the white women look down on us. So, or the women, and they don't understand that a man actually want a female that's natural. Don't matter how your hair look, you know, you have to be natural. And I don't think, females don't get that. And until they realize not only they destroying their hair, what I mean, but, you know, it's a mask, until they can come to that realization, you know, we got work to do, my women. We got a lot of work to do.
He got me there.
And you know what? Truth be told, it's not even about me being right and you being wrong. It's not about me getting you, because I think you're a pretty little black woman. I think you have a gorgeous complexion, and I think you might even have a nice shape on you. You dig? You feel free to send me those pictures later, or the video later, to the DM. But I think you're a beautiful black woman. And my sadness is that you would cover over your beauty. And what's more, the African, our hair grows out and upward and reaches toward the sun with life. The idea that you would literally murder and kill your hair and have it dangling dead down, hanging like some other racial group, I find to be a sad thing. We are a people who are the sun people. We come from the hot regions of the world, and we have dark skin to deal with the vertical rays of the sun. We are dark for a reason. We were the first, you see. We were the first peoples of the earth. We are the father to mankind. You do not imitate the child. The child imitates the father. And it's an abomination that we should imitate any people. More importantly, our hair grows upward for a reason. We're from the hot regions. When your hair grows down and covers the neck, kind of like maybe a scarf, which keeps you warm. Where do people who have long hair come from? They come from colder regions like Europe, and they have narrow nose bridges and longer noses so that the air has time to warm up. Cold air can warm up before it gets to the brain. We are all designed to survive in a given climate and a given part of the world. Why do blacks tend to have a wider nose bridge? There's so many reasons for this that are all very centered in science and biology. And once we understand this, we can have self-respect, self-esteem, and respect for others. For racism has no place in a rational mind, but the worst kind of racism is that which we exercise upon ourselves. And it takes strong black men to put our women in line, whether they like it or not. And whether you think you're beautiful or not, I'll make you show me. You heard me?
Definitely agree with that last statement for sure. But you said a lot that I I agree with most of what you're saying, and that's part of the reason why I followed you. Um, I mean, I didn't have a good debate for it because
Yeah.
I stopped. I recently just stopped wearing fake hair in general, just because like one day it just was like I'm really putting another human's hair on my head, and it threw me off. I was just like, that's kind of strange. But yeah, but then I guess the straightening part, because I do straighten my hair. So my natural hair color has always been a sandy brown. I'm not mixed though, but it's always been a sandy brown. So this is not actually that far from my natural hair color. Um, and my natural hair texture, I don't have the tight coils that, or the pretty curls that
You caught in
that
between.
are acceptable. Like I feel like okay, y'all complain about
Who's y'all?
this. Okay,
Because
okay,
listen to
black
me.
men, I guess.
Listen. Whatever your natural hair is, like if you show up with that natural hair, you about to get worn out. Your back about to get blew out. And I don't think there's a man on earth that in reality is about to say like, oh, like I can't do it. Her hair, like her hair is natural. I can't do it. Like that's women and that's feminine men. See, the problem is you're dealing with a lot of dudes that are gay. You hear me? Like if you take them clothes off, I might not even remember if you have hair. You see what I'm saying? And when you show up, like, listen, I've never heard the homie say, "Hey, bro, I got this girl, man." Like, whoo-wee, you got to see the hair on her. I've never, like, they've never, like, the homie be like, "Bro, I just got this little thing, man. She thicker than a Snicker." You hear me? Or they be like, "Man, look at these yayas," or you know, she's beautiful in the face. Like, the hair really is not like I've never heard someone harp on that.
As men, I can agree with that. When we meet a female, the hair is a plus. It does show your beauty. When you watch Coming to America, um, Eddie Murphy wife, that he married. You know, I don't know how they displayed that in the movie. I'm not, you know, but that was, I believe that's her real hair because she still, I mean, I'm assuming that was her real hair. But, you know, they portrayed, you know, her as the beautiful, um, you know, mixed woman because she was beautiful. And remember, her sister had a dark skinned, um, black hair, uh, you know, kind of Afro type like he said, a core hair. And it was a, in the movie, there was a, in the movie, there was a scene to where she was like, "So you mean he's Eddie Murphy is the prince and Sammy is the servant?" And the you know the king was like, but the daddy was like, "Yeah," and he in love with Lisa. And she say, "Why does she always get the good ones?" In other words, you know what a lot of y'all didn't catch was how come she always get the good ones, indicating that you know them type of women get all the good men. You get it now? Hold on for a second. I just want y'all to see this part that you know you get once you get older. You know what I'm talking about. Check it out.
Me?
What's everybody yelling about?
Their son, the prince, is in love with your sister, but the king here, he can't handle it.
No, he's not. The prince is in love with me.
Are you all right?
Yes, Mother, I am fine.
Why are you hugging him? He's just the servant. He's the prince.
Who told you that?
You mean Akeem's the prince?
Yeah, and he's in love with Lisa.
How come she always gets the good ones?
Where is Lisa?
Your daddy here just ran her off.
Now, as you see, as if in 80 something, you don't get it. See, there's a step ahead of us. You don't get it. She's the black one who got, you know, her hair up, and as you can see, you know, with Lisa, you know, she got the different hair, and see how come she always get the good ones. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm going to show y'all this here. Look. So when you go to here, you see what I'm talking about here? This 80. You see, as he say, our hair grow out and up. You get it? Deep. What he's saying is deep. You see? That's the sister. Okay. That's the sister. Now let's go to Lisa. That's Lisa. See how her comes down. You understand what I'm saying? How come she always get the good ones? You get what I'm saying? Work with me now. You see what I'm saying? One down, one up. You get what I'm saying? Now, you look at her like, oh, she's so pretty. She look more of the Caucasian white one. And look at the black one. Like, you remember that experiment where they did with the kid where they say the black doll was ugly and evil and the white doll was pretty and an angel? You can kind of see with the narrative. I'm older now. I didn't see it back then. Now, today, I like both of them. I do any one of them, but Lisa was just beautiful to me, just period, black or whatever. But you got to be what you got to. I need you to be here, man. We got to be here. Got to be here. Let's continue. So yeah, man. It's a lot of things that when you're watching a movie from 1985 or 83 versus now that you're a grown man, you can kind of see the narrative that they was pushing as a young person. You know, I get it now. I get it now. And this transpired 30, 40 years later to, where we see our women at now, figuring that, hey, light, lighter hair is better. This is what he's exactly talking about. Great analogy. Great analogy. Let's continue.
Head. Those are low class N words, hard R. You dig? Low class N words, hard R. And if you're giving vagina to those guys, baby, you're wasting your coochie. You need to hold on to it, recycle it, and give it to a boss. You dig? That's the problem when you're dealing with guys that are not focused with their eyes on the prize. Like, what kind of grown man is focused on your hairstyle? Real men have hair like this. You dig? That's a man's hairstyle right there. That's a real man's hairstyle. You dig? Come on now. Now go ahead. Tell me that BS. I'm gonna listen to you. Tell me that BS.
I just my I don't know what my curl pattern is. I don't have it just is poofy. Like it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So I straighten it. That's why I straighten my hair. But I like to wear it like big and like curly. Today I was at work, so I had a beanie on. But yeah, I mean, so I guess that's the main thing I was trying to defend was the straightening of the hair because I straighten my hair and I'm like, that's a style. It's still my hair. Like I wear my hair. But I mean, I definitely see your point. It's definitely, I mean, we can't deny the deep rootedness of that at all. I mean,
You know what popped up? Something else popped up. Check it out. Man, we gotta get so deep. When you're dealing with Martin, Pam, Jana, you get what I'm saying? The black, the light skin. It's been there. It's been there the whole time. It's been there the whole time. We wasn't listening, man. Our women been programmed. It's been programmed on TV now, social media. It's been there. Check it.
The word is excuse me.
Nobody told you to stand in the hall either. Excuse me.
That's better, Miss Thing.
It's not real.
Say what? You heard.
It ain't even real.
You wish you had hair like this.
Girl, you know you weren't even born with blue eyes.
That's right. Blue contact lenses.
They're just jealous.
Right.
Jealous.
Rachel, I've been watching you look at Julian. You're not slick.
If that was true, he wasn't much to look at.
Tell me, Rachel.
Pickaninny, Barbie doll, high yellow heifer,
Tar baby.
Wanna be white, jigaboo?
don't start.
We're gonna finish it.
Riri, open up!
Talk about good and bad hair, whether you're dark or you're fair. So you can go on and swear, see if I can. Good and bad hair.
Don't you wish you had hair like this? Then the boys would give you a kiss. Talk about nothing but bliss. Then you're gonna see what you missed.
If a fly should land on your head, then I'm sure he'd break all his legs. Cause you got so much grease up there. Dear, is that a weave that you wear?
You got conga bugs standing all over your head. Well, you got sandy spurs. Rather have mine instead. You're just a G.
I think play too much. But remember that school day, I believe it was a Spike Lee movie. It's been, and now, Spike Lee made that. So it's been a problem that we just unaware of. We train our minds, with things that's not important, but it's been there. You know, look in the background. You know what I'm saying? To the far left, you know, that's my daughter. Uh, you know, all my sons, all my kids got dreads. All of them. All of them. You know, be natural. You know, be your, you know, just have your natural. It's not a big deal if you don't get the idea, if you don't understand. But once you understand, it becomes, you know, it's called embracing who you are. You know, let's continue. But I couldn't. But again, it's been there. It's been there. I'm just showing you some things. You know, and that's why I said you get the Pam and Gina of Martin. You know, when you watch House Party, you know, with Gina, and you know, it's always been a black and white thing. You know, just showing you a narrative. It's always black, white, black, white. They've been programming us from the jump. I want to kill the mood. You know, let me continue with this. You know,
History. It's shallow because the way to break those mental chains is to stop right today. So it's shallow. It's easy. You can take care of that tonight. You heard me? But here's the thing. Your choices in this case represent more than just you. And I find it to be an abomination as a black human being that my counterpart is ashamed of who she is. Because you're not speaking about yourself as an individual when you do that. You're not speaking about yourself as a woman when you do that. You're speaking about yourself as a black person. Because your hair grows out of your scalp largely in the same way that my hair grows out of my scalp. And what you're doing is you're suggesting that that's not good enough, which is one thing. That's one problem. And then the second problem is that you're then putting in a hierarchy above us another racial category that is unqualified to be categorized in that way. Now, I don't mind white people being white supremacists, all good. And there's a lot of them in case you haven't been on Twitter. But the idea that you and Beyonce and Lil Kim are going to slap me in the face is outrageous. And I won't accept it. I'll accept a white supremacist calling me an N-word hard R, but I won't accept you calling me an N-word hard R by engaging in this kind of behavior.
Okay.
All right. And, you know, I know it'll take some time, but I think that you'll wear your natural hair. And when you do, the quality and nature of men that you'll meet will be different. And that doesn't mean you won't meet a white guy. I know a couple white guys that are with black women that have natural hair. It's not, and it's kind of mind boggling, but it's because those are the higher quality black women. You see what I'm saying? Like those are the quality black women. That's why the white guy's like, bro, let me slide on this. So it's not like when you do your hair like a white woman, you're competing with white women. You're not. We can still tell you're black. You just look like a bad version of a white woman. And that's like the sad part. And no, even Oprah, who's a billionaire, I remember I was at the house one time and Jeremy, I got the HD TV, you dig? Like the clear as hell. And I'm looking at the TV and my mom's was there. She put some Oprah on. I wouldn't watch that bull. And I was like, yo, how Oprah Roots is nappy. Like how you a billionaire and your roots is still nappy. Like you look ridiculous out here. And it was just so embarrassing to think that we got a black female billionaire and with all that success and money still behaves like a peasant and a pea.
Well, maybe it's my sign to lock up.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. You could do whatever you want. I mean, shit, you could show up with real, no,
I
in
mean,
a
I
real
have
way.
cut it all off
Yeah,
before. So.
yeah. You could show up with the baldy. You could Amber Rose it. You could hit me with the Holly Berry. You could do the locks. You could do whatever you do. But whatever you do, just know that it's an expression of self-love. And you can never really love anyone else until you love yourself first. Like, and you
I
just
agree.
deserve love. Like you deserve the ability to be comfortable as you are. To like, for example, I was supposed to be hosting a yoga class, and I also was gonna have folks can go into the sauna afterward, right? And I felt like, dang, do I need to tell the black girls that there's a sauna in advance so that they could like figure out stuff with their hair? You know, it's like we shouldn't have to operate like that. And you know, black women go to the swimming pool or the beach and they can't get in the pool, and all the Latinas in the pool, the Asian girls in the pool, the white girls in the pool, and the black girls hanging back acting like they're cool when really you're crippled. You're in a cage and you're controlled. And it's just like it shouldn't be like that.
I agree.
Mm.
Watch the rest of it on his page, which is this here. This is the whole thing with the title right here. You know, I just want to touch in on that and give my thoughts, give my analogies, you know, chopping it up with y'all, man. Again, you know, hopefully, you know, you can show this to a female that's in need, a daughter, a friend, or just repost it. But I think that's a problem within the black community, you know, and it's like, it's alarming at this point. It ain't just one person. This is going on like wildfire. So, you know, with that being said, I just think that, you know, us as he says, you know, it's expression of ourselves. Your hair is usually expressing yourself. You see a dude with spikes in his head, you're like, oh, he's some type of rock and roll freak, you know, the hair, you know, and features express yourself. You see people with big old earrings or a bone in their nose. You're like, what is up with this guy? Black fingernail, golf. You know what I mean? Hair's no different. You know, so I think that we as people need to express ourselves different. If you see some guy come Puerto Rican, and he got, you know, 30 tears here and tattoos all over it. Like, what is up with this guy? You know, this guy had a rough game banging life. You know, he expressing himself. You know, your body is used as art. So, you know, we have to express ourselves, you know, in the way we want to be seen. So if you out here with, you know, fake hair, nails this long, eyelashes, you can't even, you know, you every time you blink, you know what I'm saying, you slap your chest. Every time you blink, like eyelashes big, it don't even make sense. A little dumb. You know, so y'all think that's what men want. That's why I told you a story earlier about Charlotte's siblings. You know, like when I first saw that, it's like, wow. Because the sisters wasn't doing that. Fast forward 30 years later, and now it's like, you're not looking for that. Now you look for that natural woman. You know, as Lisa's sister wasn't coming to America. Like, hey, where's she at? Or on school days, the black woman, where's she at? That's just what men looking for now. You know, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Let me see something. I want y'all to bear with me, man. I'm going to show y'all a little cartoon clip. A lot of y'all might not have seen it, but let me kind of show you where we at with it. Bear with me.
Howdy, folks, y'all. I'm a little Red Riding Hood, you know, and I'm a-taking a little nourishment to my poor old grandma. She lives just down the road a piece yonder.
Folks, confidentially, I'm not the real grandma. I'm the wolf, see? Of course, I'm supposed to eat Red Riding Hood all up, but I ain't gonna do it. All I'm gonna do is chase her and catch her and kiss her and hug her and love her and hug her and kiss her. I'm gonna hug her and love her and kiss her. Howdy, Red. How about a kiss for your poor old grandma?
Smooth when he spreads it on. Shop or smooth, he's in the groove where loving is a thing. And all the babes in town trail him around just to hold his paw and sing. Oh, Wolfie,
coffee, please tell me do. What made
Sitting back talking, which is, you know, sometimes, you know, we need to have a real conversation, but, you know, I try to do my content different than everybody else. Y'all been rocking out with me. So, again, you know, as I say always, I ain't have to sleep with your wife. I ain't have to throw me something. I don't need to sleep on your couch. Just have to like, subscribe, and share the video. That's all I ask. So, you know, till next time, I'm gonna holler at you.